Today I will be making banana cream pie. First I will be making the pie crust because the crust has to bake before I can put the filling into it. You will need flour, salt, shortening, and cold water. You will need a medium-sized bowl, 1 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon salt, and I'm using a pastry blender. I have used a large fork instead of a blender in the past. And 1/3 cup shortening. Now you'll want to cut in the shortening until the pieces are about pea size. 4 to 5 tablespoons of cold water. So you're going to add 1 tablespoon, and then you're going to mix it with a fork, and you're going to continue adding 1 tablespoon at a time until it is all moistened, and then we will form a ball. I did use all 5 tablespoons. I'm going to preheat the oven now to 450 degrees. And while that's preheating, I'm going to roll out the dough. Lightly flour the surface. We have to make it flat enough to cover the inside and surrounding edges of your pan. And then to put it onto the pan, roll it over the rolling pin. You take the edges of the pie crust and roll them under. I like to just make little nooks. And then in order to bake it, you have to poke a few holes in the dough. You have to line the crust with foil. You're going to put 2 layers of foil just over the pie crust. This prevents it from burning. And now I'm going to put it in the oven for 8 minutes at 450. For the cream filling part of the pie, you'll need a medium saucepan. Add 3/4 cup sugar, 1/4 cup cornstarch. Combine these two. Add 2 1/2 cups of milk. Cook it over medium-high heat, and you'll cook it until it's thick and bubbly. It's really hot. And the pie crust is now just about done. But I'm just going to take the foil off of it, and then it bakes for another 5 to 6 minutes. This is now the thickened version of the milk and cornstarch and sugar. You'll notice it just gets a little harder to stir. And now we're just going to put it on lower heat, and it will still cook for about another 2 minutes. It's been about 2 minutes, so then you turn off all the heat. Just let it sit. I burnt it. I can smell it. That's okay. The pie crust has now beeped. I'm going to look at it. And you just want a light brown color, and it looks like I have it. So to continue on with the cream filling, you will need 4 eggs. So 3 eggs were at room temperature, 1 egg in the fridge. And now we have to separate the egg yolks from the egg whites. Keep the egg whites for the meringue. That yolk broke. And actually, you only need a fork just to beat this real quick. Once you have this mixed, you're just going to add a little bit of the hot mixture into the eggs, about a cup. Sure. And then add this to the saucepan. You can see my burnt pieces, the darker brown. It's now been cooking on low heat for about 2 minutes. I'm going to completely turn off the heat and add in 1 tablespoon butter and 1.5 teaspoons vanilla. And just stir it all together until the butter's all melted. The cream filling is now all done. It has to stay warm until we're finished making the meringue. I'm just going to put it on a burner on real low. So I'm going to cut up the bananas before I make the meringue. You will need 2 1/4 cup sliced bananas. Okay, now that it's all sliced, I'm just going to layer them on the pie crust. I guess that's it. The pie filling itself is still warming on a low burner. Now I'm going to make the meringue. 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. Then you'll use an electric mixer. Beat for a minute until soft peaks occur. You'll know it's done when you lift the beaters out and it curls. Now, all we have left is to add the sugar to the meringue. You'll need 6 tablespoons of sugar that you'll add one at a time while you're mixing, and you'll be mixing it for about 4 minutes. It's nice and stiff now, as you can see. Now we will put it all in the pie crust. So first, the cream filling goes right over the bananas. And then I'm going to add the meringue right on top. And you want to make sure the meringue seals over the filling. The meringue is all on top of the pie filling and sealed in. Now it will bake in the oven at 325 for 30 minutes. And I'm just going to let this cool on a wire rack for an hour. And that's the pie. And that's it. Or no, that's not it. So the banana cream pie has now been cooling, but before I cut it, I'm going to let it chill in the refrigerator so it can set a little extra. And you can chill it for 3 to 6 hours in the refrigerator. Here we go. It looks okay. Not too bad. If the bananas were riper, it would be sweeter, because right now it's sort of not tart, but not very sweet. That's probably the fail of pie. I give it like a B on the grade scale. Still tastes good. And the meringue actually turned out, I was very pleased with how that turned out. For the first pie like this, I'd say it's pretty good.